Alright, here we go. I bought a new truck. This is the key fob. It looks kind of basic, but it does what you need it to do. It opens the doors and has the remote start on it, so nothing to complain about. Here's the piece that I felt a little bit dirty. Being a Ford guy, I bought a Chevy. So I'm going to let you come out and take a look at this, because when I was doing research, I had a hard time finding something that had some of the information and comparisons I wanted, but it's a 2018 ZR2 Colorado, so it's a mid-size. And sorry about the wind here. This is being done from an iPhone. I'm not a video editor, so I got to wing it and get it all together at once. But we'll come around here. Got a pretty decent look to it, kind of like a mini Raptor actually, which is what I used to have, was the 2013 Raptor, and I had sold it for some reasons that I'll get into. But first we'll get in here and do a little bit of a comparison, as there's some things I've found with the Chevy that are really cool that I like, and some things that I guess I'll just say where they probably saved some of the cost versus the Raptor. But so as you can see, it is a key start. It doesn't have the keyless push button, which not a big deal, but I do like the convenience of the push button quite a bit. And my Raptor did not have that either, but when I had a Subaru Outback for a short time, it did, and I really got to enjoy the ability to just jump in the car and push the button with the keys in my pocket and go. This truck, it's got a really comfortable seats. Not as comfortable as the Raptor, I'll be honest with you. The Raptor seats are big and wide, and I'm 6'5" and 300 plus, so I really appreciated the big seats of the Raptor. The stereo system in here is great. You can see it's got the Bose system, and I know the new Raptor has a upgraded stereo system. I played with it a little bit when I sat in one that I was looking at buying, and it was good, better than the 13 for sure, but I don't know that it was as good as this Bose system in here. I haven't really cranked it loud, but it's very crisp and clear, and has nice bass to it even without any subwoofer or anything, so pretty happy about that. One thing this car has that the Raptor doesn't is when you're driving down the road, you can actually hit this camera button and it flips right onto the rear view camera, and it only stays on for a little bit. But if you had a trailer back there or something and you just kind of wanted to pop on it and see, you can do that, and you can actually look while you're driving at the rear view camera. They do have some kind of a front camera option. I don't have that on here. I don't know exactly how that works yet, but it's something I might look into, because much like the Raptor, it's hard to see what's right in front of you if you're doing anything where you needed to. It's a very intuitive system, much like the Ford Touch had in the Raptor. This one, you just kind of push whatever you want. It integrates into your phone through Apple Play, so you can actually, when you connect your phone, you can actually pull up like Google Maps or whatever. But this one has navigation. The navigation system is pretty good. I'm pleased with that. The phone system is fine. It just shows all your connections. If you go onto the, like I'm on radio right now, so it just goes through all that stuff, and then text messaging and that stuff, so your messages will pop up on this screen instead of just your phone if you choose to do that. Overall, pretty easy to use. You hit the home, you go back, you got all your options. You can go into any projection when you're connected through Apple CarPlay, and it just pops up what's on your phone onto the screen. Doesn't work with movies or something like that, though. There's a limited selection, so you can't download a movie onto your phone or something and watch it. One thing that this is kind of cool that we have here is it's a wireless charging spot. So if you have one of those phones, or if you have a case on your iPhone that does wireless charging, you just set your phone there and it charges. You don't have to connect. I do not have that, so I have still my power inverter that I plug in, and then I've got my old-fashioned cord, I guess, that you plug in to charge everything, and I don't intend on changing my case, so that's just the way it's going to be. But across here is all your air conditioning and temperature and climate control stuff. down here it's real easy. You've got your traction control off, your rear and front lockers, hazard lights, trailer control, hill descent, and then this is a button you can actually turn the cargo light on and off with that, and then your heated seats here, which the nice thing about their heated seats, you can seat the whole thing, or you can do just the seat back, like if you're trying to do a lumbar. That's my garage door opener. It fits in there real well, because one of the things we don't have in this truck is one of those home link systems. So while you've got, you know, a place for your sunglasses, you really don't have anywhere to put your garage door opener. Mine just happens to be old enough and small enough that it fits in that relatively useless compartment. I don't know what the heck else would fit in that thing. Mine came with the all-weather mats. I don't know how well you can see that on here, but it's in there. I also got the carpeted ones. Over here they've got their controls, and forgive me, I'm trying to make this work, but you can see the lights. I have them set on auto. It's regular turn the knob kind of thing. What I like is the four-wheel drive system there. If you push it, the button, it goes into off-road mode, but then you've also got, when you turn the knob, you turn it once and you turn into auto, which is like an all-wheel drive, you know, just bad weather type of stuff where the computer controls everything. And then you've got your regular Hoisin 4 high or 4 low that you can use for different scenarios too. So those are all really nice functions that this car has. You know, coming over from the Ford Raptor, if I had never owned a Raptor and been in that thing, I would think this is probably the greatest pickup truck on the planet. It's so comfortable. It drives like a car. The suspension that they have on this rivals the Raptor suspension. I would tell you it's a little bit stiffer than the Raptor suspension, but I'm going to tell you, and the Ford guys probably aren't going to like it, but it's every bit as capable, I think. This car can jump. This car can rock climb, especially with the 2 locking differentials. You know, it's not as comfortable as the Raptor. It's not as big side to side especially, but you'll also see in the back seat here, the amount of room that you have in a Raptor is like having a double bed back there. And in this truck, you don't have that. You have enough to put kids back there, and I can put my seat forward and make it so that, you know, an adult could sit behind me. But if I was driving from Indiana, where I live, to Florida, I don't think that this would be the choice that my wife and 2 kids and I would want to get into, just simply for that reason. There's just not as much room in the back as they have in that Raptor with the bigger, just the bigger all-around car. One of the advantages, though, to being smaller with this is obviously it's a little bit lighter weight. It's got a 6-cylinder engine that gets a little bit better gas mileage. Anyone that tells you this thing's going to be an ease on gas mileage is crazy, though. It's just like any truck. You know, drinks the gas pretty good. It's not anything like my Subaru was, where you're getting, you know, 28, 29, 30 miles per gallon on the highway. But it's a lot more fun to drive, and it's got a lot better cool factor. The hood, you can kind of see there's this scoop thing on the front. It's not functional. It's just for show and for looks. It does look pretty cool, but it's honestly, it's taken me a little bit of getting used to just having that lump there in the middle. So as I've been driving it, I've gotten used to it, but initially it was always kind of in my eye. I have the Onstar Trial right now. You can see it on the mirror, sort of, but what's really cool about that is this truck actually is a Wi-Fi hotspot, so I signed up for that to stay. It was like 20 bucks a month for unlimited data with the Wi-Fi hotspot, and it's on you know, 4G LTE, so my kids can have their iPad and be on that if we're in the car, or you know, if this thing actually gets a signal up at my cabin in Michigan, which is kind of remote, and AT&T has not proven to be the best signal up there, but if it works, that would be fantastic, because we'd be able to, you know, turn this into accessory mode and tie into the Wi-Fi from the truck and be able to get some emails and stuff like that done out of the sunroom. I just pull the car up, you know, close to the house and have the Wi-Fi that way. So I'm hopeful. I'll let you know how that goes down the road. Comparing this again to the Raptor, the big thing for me, quite honestly, was I went and looked at these Raptors, and I love them. I think they're a great truck. I think they're fantastic looking. I don't care about the sound of the exhaust that people criticize. Doesn't bother me in the least. The performance of the truck is fantastic. The challenge is I struggle with the you know, by the time I get it with what I want, with the packages and everything set up the way I want it, it was going to be a $70,000 or $72,000 truck. And I don't know, there's something about $70,000 that just doesn't sit well for me with any car, but certainly with a pickup truck that's just going to be gone out and daily driver, beating around the bush and everything else. So I chose to go this route, and I used a Costco membership to get the pricing that I wanted, believe it or not, and that had some interesting advantages. It was a little bit lower price than you know, what they were advertising online. It's not quite as good as GM employee pricing, but I don't have access to that. But in the end, you know, I think the sticker on this thing was mid-40s. It was 44 or 45,000. I ended up paying a hair over 42. Got a really good deal on my trade and had all kinds of equity in that with the Subaru. And so I ended up not having to take any money out of pocket, and I only have a little bit higher payment than I had on the Subaru. So it has made me happy from that standpoint. And that's something, you know, you can almost buy two of these things for the cost of a Raptor with what the dealers are doing for the markup right now. They're saying, you know, the best deal I found was $5,000 over sticker, and I refused to do that, even though the truck was pretty much exactly what I wanted. I wasn't going to do that. And the funny thing is, I offered to buy it there on the dealer lot for sticker, and they wouldn't do it. They wanted 15 over. Came down to 10 over before I left the lot, and emailed me that night for 5 over. And I just said, no, I won't do over sticker. So they, you know, probably sold it to somebody else, because I'm sure people out there are paying over sticker. But overall, you know, the Chevy ZR2 Colorado, it's a little bit smaller than the Raptor. I can go through a car wash, though. I can drive right through the car wash. In fact, I've got my little car wash membership, so I go through it twice a week. I don't have to get out and spray it in the bay to close it to get the car clean in the winter. That's worth a lot to me. A little better gas mileage than the Raptor. There is a nice supercharger package that on this truck does not ruin your GM warranty, and supposedly gets you even better gas mileage. I'll believe that when I see it, but I think a lot of it has to do with how your right foot goes. Anyway, you know, information centers here in the middle. You can kind of go through a bunch of different settings of what you want to do and use that. It's the whole electronic systems that Chevy has are pretty intuitive, really. I mean, you can jump in and do stuff and just figure your way out through stuff really easy. It's not hard to use at all, which for someone like myself that doesn't want to read the manuals and things, that's really good. I keep saying I'm gonna read the manual. By the end of the day, I'm too tired to do it. Anyway, that's it in a nutshell. Really like the ZR2. I can't say that I like it better than a Raptor, but I certainly think that the value that you get with the Chevy ZR2 is a far better value than what you can get for the Raptor, given the ridiculous pricing, and on top of that, the dealer markups that are going on right now. So, you know, I'm slightly over $40,000 in with you know, not too much to pay off here, and have a lot of money in my pocket if I want to do things. I just got the windows tinted, and I'm going to put a cap on back and bed rug in so that the dogs have a little nicer place in the back to go to, and we'll go from there. Thank you.